We've had a lovely morning in Bunyola, and this afternoon we've come back to Palmanova just for an afternoon walk. But we're going to walk in the opposite direction to normal. We're going to go towards Son Caliu. We're going to go past the Ponent Mar, which someone asked me about earlier on today, so we'll have a look to see if there's any sign of life at the Ponent Mar. So we're just walking past the marina of Palmanova. Much smaller boats here than some of the other marinas that we go to. And there seems to be empty berths, quite a lot of empty berths. So we've got a small boat. Maybe this is a place to come and investigate. Across the road we've got Modigliani open still. We've got about 20 minutes. It's 20 to 5 and all of these bars and restaurants have to close at 5 o'clock. And we've got the Rock Portanova apartments just across the way there. Somebody asked me about those a few weeks ago. So the restrictions have changed as of today, or begin to change today. Those restrictions, mainly the one that's going to affect us really, is the fact that restaurants and bars from Monday will be able to open in the evening, so we can go out for an evening meal. It's only Monday to Thursday, unfortunately, and while I'm working, that's not normally a time we would go out for an evening meal, so maybe it won't affect us very much. But the new rules say that they can open until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, then they have to close, and then after 5 o'clock they close for 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, 3 hours, open up at 8 o'clock, and they can then open till 10:30. So they can serve evening meals. This is only on terraces though. Interiors are still closed. So bars or restaurants can't open inside, only on the terraces. Luckily, the weather's improving, and it'll be quite nice. Certainly in the day it's really nice to sit out, and even in the evenings it's going to be quite nice. One consequence of saying that restaurants can stay open until the evening is that the curfew was 10 o'clock. So they've now had to extend the curfew to 11 o'clock. The curfew is between 11 and 6 in the morning. So we're just coming up to the road where the Ponent Mar is, and it's just at the top of this road here. It's where our friends Barbara and John live. I mentioned them in 1 or 2 videos.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Good, yes, you're right.
It's nice weather, so...
Lovely. We should just give them a knock on the way back.
Ponent Mar has the SOS Turismo sign on, Save Our Summer. It's one of the hotels quite popular with the bikers. And it is closed. I'm just going to walk up to the gate because it looks as though they've got the workmen in. It's a Saturday afternoon. Probably getting a bit of overtime now. And well, they're doing some full sealing on the under part there, so they're quite busy.
It's a bit out of date.
There is actually a sign here that says they are closed until the 27th of February. Well, that is clearly not true, because they're not open now. but they're obviously working on it, and I think that's because they are intending to open up soon. And it might not be to UK tourists. They get a lot of Scandinavian tourists who come to the Ponent Mar. It's a really nice hotel, and as we walk along the path here, you'll see it's got nice facilities and overlooks the sea, and certainly the rooms on the seaside will have magnificent views. This path that we're going to walk along is one that Anita discovered with Barbara. Barbara, obviously, she lives here, so she knew it very well, but Anita didn't, and I certainly didn't. But it takes us along the headland. We do go through a gate, and the gate has got chain and it's got locks, but they're chained and locked open. And there are steps, so if you're a little bit unsure of your footing, you need to be a little bit careful on these. And there's no rail on this. But it gives us some magnificent views from quite a different angle of Palmanova. When I was talking to John about the path and the fact that some of it looks as though it's falling away, he says it's been like this for a long time, and the council have come and put the fence up. The fence has been here for years, but they never actually come to repair it. So here we can have a look at the magnificent view over Palmanova, and this is one of the situations where you can actually see all three beaches of Palmanova. And looking down at the sea, they've got a few waves. Not too big, but definitely waves. And just as we came down, it's a Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon now, but people are on the beach, and there's even, in my view, I can see people in the sea. So it's coming up to 10 to 5 now. Look a bit further around. So on this side, you can see the rooms of the Ponent Mar, and you can imagine what sort of view they've got. I'm filming this video in 360 as well as the normal mode, so if you want to see the 360, you just need to nip over to our YouTube channel, which is dedicated to 360 videos. So it's just called 360 VR. VR stands for virtual reality. 360 VR, Steve and Anita in Mallorca, and you'll be able to pan round and look at the views from all sorts of different angles. I'm just walking around now towards Son Caliu. Diver in the water there. Got a wetsuit on. It's quite a popular sport here. People sometimes go spear fishing. They'll catch squid.
See how hot the wall is?
Warm. Yeah, we're just putting our hands on the wall here, and it's actually quite warm. Don't think we should lean on it too hard though. Might not be too safe. So yes, the Ponent Mar is closed, but plenty of sign of activity at the front where they're obviously getting it ready for their clients. So if you're coming in July, then I'm sure all of that work will be finished and they'll be ready to greet you. Beautiful views. Now we're looking out towards Randa in the distance. So we go all the way past Palma, past the Playa de Palma and the hill. In the far distance is Randa. You can recognise Randa because it's got a big radar dome on the top. And 2 sailing boats out as well. Come to another part of this walkway where we consider it to be unsafe, and so they fenced it off. And you now have to walk up. What's become over the years quite a rickety pathway, I think, because of the pine trees that have grown here. Roots have disturbed the paving slabs. Not too many of them seem to be broken, but they are uneven in places. Brings us out now behind some of the apartment buildings in this area. When we were out in Bunyola today, I remarked on the bird song. We have a similar bird song here.
And my friend Lorna put on Facebook that she'd heard a nightingale in her garden. Here.
Certainly very good, these birds. So we must have at this time of the year a particularly pleasant songbird. to bars down here, Penny Lane, do a great Sunday lunch, and well, they're just coming up to closing time because of the restrictions now. As of Monday they'll be able to open in the evenings, and I think probably the bars will do quite well on Monday because Real Mallorca are playing. Hopefully they're going to win. Monday they're playing Sabadell, and Sabadell are quite near to the bottom of our league, so it should be an opportunity for us to pick up 3 of those vital points that takes us a step nearer to La Liga. I think we'll stick to watching it on the TV through YouTube. So if you've got if there are any football fans in the UK, all of the Real Mallorca matches have been streamed on YouTube. You just have to go to the La Liga Smart Bank, and if you're in the UK or anywhere actually outside of Spain, you can watch the matches live. Actually, we could walk through Son Caliu. Just have a little walk down into Son Caliu. Extend our walk a little bit. Anita's forgotten to bring a phone with her. She's got a watch that keeps the step count, so we make sure she gets her 10,000 steps in.
Yes. 8,700 so far.
8,700, so we've got a few to do. So just coming down, this is Son Caliu, and in front of us we have the Son Caliu Hotel. It's a very nice 4-star hotel, runs right onto the beach of Son Caliu, and has been open. It looks as though it may be closed at the moment though. And I can see dust sheets out over the furniture.
The Rincon's open as well.
This is what would normally be the entrance, one of the entrances to the hotel, but not open today. See, all the windows are closed up, so they've got some paper and some tape to stop the sun getting in. Looks like it's party time, got a few balloons there.
combina, Andrés.
Llamar a mi país para saber si no.
We'll just take a little quick detour and just go down to the front here in Palmanova just to have a look.
Son Caliu.
Son Caliu. I've got my assistant here correcting me. One thing I see straight away is that the parasols are now out. Calvia did say that May the 1st was their day for starting the summer season, and one of the things that starts the summer season is having the sunbeds and the parasols. So parasols are now out. I'm just coming up to the Rincon, and they've got a lovely terrace, so they should do okay. And there's a few sunbeds already on the beach. Quite a few sunbeds already out, so I guess they're all chained up at the moment. Looks like our divers on the shore. So last summer we would sometimes come here for a swim, and they put a jetty out just from this point, and it goes out in the sea. It's a good way for getting into the sea, and because the beach doesn't actually run down to the sea here, we have to go down some steps to get into the water. It actually is a little bit choppy today, and so the seaweed's getting washed up and it looks a little bit murky close in. We have seen it much rougher here though, and we've seen the waves splashing all over this decking. Anita's spotted some friends, as she does. So this is the beach of Son Caliu. We're just now going to walk up a little alley. Which takes us back onto the road.
Sí, más lo del piso que me dejó mi madre, me quedaré con unos 1.700.
So we went down to the beach just further up the road there. There's one or two bars and restaurants here, but the main restaurants are just around the corner. Oh, I've lost Anita again. We're just going to walk just around this corner here, and then we'll walk down the road where the main bars and restaurants are. Actually another little beach just down the road there.
We're going down?
It's only a very small beach. Another road that goes down there. It's the next road that we're going to go down, and the next road is the one where there are a number of bars and restaurants, some that we have frequented over the years, and they've changed, so it'll be interesting to see the differences. These are one-way streets, so if there's any cars, they'll be coming towards me. If there's any ex-BIS students, this is where Jackie used to live, in the apartments on this side. Sadly, Jackie passed away. Must be a couple of years ago now. So the first restaurant on the right hand side, which used to be Tomeo's, is now La Venencia. Tapas variadas. Well, that's interesting because we like tapas. Hello. There's now a Chinese down here. That's new. We've never seen a Chinese here before.
It's supposed to be really good.
This says, can't see the name, it's up above. Another place which is tapas. I think this used to be Churchill's. So Churchill's doesn't exist anymore. It's changed a couple of times. I used to go to Churchill's quite a lot with the Masons. This is Archie's Bar, which has become famous over the lockdown for doing fantastic fish and chips. We've not actually been and had the fish and chips yet, but all the reports are excellent. Just walk along here. You can see the bars, all with the terraces, but now we're past closing time. So if they're not closed yet, they've got to close up soon. And then this little alley here takes us to the car park, which is just behind Maison Son Caliu. Again, that's one of the places which has changed its name and changed it back again. It was always Maison Son Caliu, historically, for us anyway. And then it became El Carbon, and it's gone back to Maison Son Caliu again. And everybody knows it as Maison Son Caliu. Years ago we first met Leafy Lee here, and he had his bar, which was curtains. I'm sure he's got I was going to say fond memories, but I'll simply say memories of Curtains Bar. He has said to me in the past it was curtains. Now we come back to the main road where we have Maison Son Caliu.
10,000 steps.
And Anita's happy. She's just clicked over 10,000 steps. You have a drive to Maison Son Caliu, and it does a fantastic value menu of the day. And there is a car park just down there, so parking is not an issue. It's one of our go-to places for a menu. So across the road we've got Mercadona, which is a big supermarket, and Anita tells me we need some supplies, so we'll be calling in there on the way home. This side we have a pharmacy and another bar. And now we're heading back in the direction of Palmanova. If we're on the other side of the road, there's actually a proper walkway. On this side we're just on the regular pavement. It's not too bad. Bench here if we need a rest.
No?
Yep. March on then. And the building on this side is a centre, which I think is largely for younger people. But it's biblioteca, so there's a library in there and offers other facilities, including a ping pong table on the outside, which is good. Places we also went to this morning, early on, we went to Fan, which is a shopping complex near to the airport, and I'm in the process of uploading a video of our visit there. But the main reason to go is to fill the car up. My car runs on diesel, and Fan is about the cheapest place to buy diesel. If you want to compare prices, I paid 116 cents, €1.16 per litre for the diesel today. So wherever you are in the world, how does that compare with your prices? I know if you're in America, it's probably a lot cheaper. Certainly in much of Europe, it's going to be more expensive than that. So that was diesel. Petrol is a little bit more expensive. I think that was $1.25. Petrol station at Fan offer an 8% discount on the regular price, so that wasn't the regular price. What they do is they give you 8% discount and they send you a check every 2 or 3 months. So Anita gets a check. Funnily enough, it's in her name. And it's however much money we've accumulated.
Usually about 20 odd euros.
Which is the money we've saved on the diesel and the petrol. And she usually goes and buys a bottle of wine. Or
Why
two.
not?
On our trip to Bunyola this morning, she managed to pick up another bottle of wine at the gardens that we went to. So we might be trying that this evening. Just walked past and I forgot to mention El Cruce. And in normal times, El Cruce is a place, they do a menu del dia, but we always have their paella. They do an excellent, in our opinion, so we're not experts on paellas, but for us they are really tasty, moist, and they always treat us very well. So it's somewhere which our family often goes to, sometimes hours before leaving Mallorca. Where shall we go? We go to El Cruce and have a paella. And they do different versions of the paella. Some which are just fish, some which are fish and meat, usually chicken. But one that we quite like is just a blind paella, which doesn't have all the bones and bits. Probably scorned upon by true paella aficionados, who would say it's those bits that add the flavour. Could also be a little bit messy. And Anita always gives me the little bits to peel anyway, so it's a job less for me when we're eating paella. That's the Sonova. takeaway pizzas. There's the sign for the Norwegian church, which we didn't know about until a week or two ago. Used to be a Ford garage. First arrived here, so this is where you came and bought your Ford cars from. We didn't actually, but well, you could have done. It was their showroom. It's now a Chinese shop. It sells Chinese imported goods. So you find all sorts of things in there, from a screw to a light bulb to an electric fan, everything. And right next to it is a car wash, car cleaning service, valeting service, which is really useful. So sometimes take our car there, just leave it at the front. They tell you come back in half an hour or whatever, and it's all done for you. It's all sparkling. We're back to the monument. Guardia Civil officers who were killed during the bombing all those years ago, here in Palmanova. Quite an atrocity at the time, quite unknown. I think they quite quickly caught terrorists who caused the incident. Lady here who does alterations, and should be calling in there today, but forgot to bring the trousers that she needs to alter, so she'll come back. She does a lovely job though, and, very nice lady indeed. Palmanova's been here for a long time, and the Curry Lounge looks as though that may have gone. It's got a for sale sign. One of the consequences of Brexit meant I had to change my driving licence, so I came to this office here. They helped me to sort out all the forms, photographs, medicals, everything that you need to do to get a driving licence here in Spain. It was important to have done that before Christmas, before the actual Brexit, because anyone who comes here now to live will have to do a Spanish driving test. So if you're thinking of moving out to Mallorca and you have a British driving licence, will not be valid. Tourists are not affected. Tourists can still drive here, but if you live here, buy a car and you want to drive here, from now on you've got to have a Spanish driving licence. So unfortunately that means doing a Spanish driving test. Some of the rules are not quite the same as they are in the UK. And a particular bugbear amongst many Brits, myself included, is how they handle roundabouts. I think enough said about that. We're getting back now down to the front in Palmanova. This So all the bars and restaurants now should be closed, tidying away the last of the chairs, last of the tables, and Palmanova will start to go quiet now. People start to make their way home. Still looking quite busy on the beach. Still plenty of people out. The weather's beautiful. It's been over 20 degrees today. So we're more or less back to where we started, which is this marina of Palmanova. So I hope you've enjoyed our little walk around the headland, which led us into Son Caliu and then back. So if you have liked it, then please pass it on, share it with your friends, let everybody have a look at Palmanova Son Caliu at this time of the year, and give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done. Don't forget the 360 version will be appearing later. They do take quite a lot of time to process by myself and also by YouTube. So we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye for now.